Hello people, this is DJ Salem coming at you today with a little bit of Q&A. Since my channel is but a wee babe at this point, I took to Facebook in order to collect a myriad of questions that people had about dancers and the industry. I asked my feed, what would you ask an entertainer if you could? And here's what a few of them had to say. The money. No, but seriously, that wasn't even the half of it. I stepped foot into my first strip club at the age of 23 because my roommate had tipped me off that there was a job opening there for shooter girls. So before this, I had like this Hollywood image of what a strip club was like, you know, like the dark, smoky, and seedy, and packed with like slime ball men sitting around tables like snorting drugs and shit, and like half naked women on there like hi. Well, you know the deal. However, I walked into, let's call it Titty Spanks. I walked into Titty Spanks and found it refreshingly devoid of any of this imagery. And the lighting was brighter than I expected. It wasn't packed at all. And there was one girl on stage who looked relatively normal. I mean, she was pretty and all, but I don't think she was even wearing makeup, if I remember correctly. Overall, the environment was very inviting and laid back. Like the manager was super nice, all the girls were super nice, the workers were super nice, and not in that fake kind of like, oh, hey, welcome to Raisins, like that kind of nice or anything like that. But it was a genuine, just kind of casual atmosphere, which really caught me off guard. So I signed on as a shot girl, a non-naked role. But what brought me eventually to the stage around a year later, a few months later, like 6 months later, was the draw to perform. As a former theater kid, I loved the idea of putting on a show. Titty Spanks was a topless only bar, so I think that also had a lot to do with it. I mean, to me, titties are everywhere. Like, just catch an episode of Game of Thrones, you'll see what I mean. Titties all over the place. So the thought of boobies, sorry. The thought of bearing my girls to an audience didn't really hold much in the way of shame. So that definitely had a hand. Had the place been full nude, though, I probably never would have done it, you know, hygiene concerns. Dancing was also for me a way to vent out certain needs I had from my youth for male attention. Not daddy issue born, but more like the I was ugly and awkward and teased throughout my high school life and my whole school life, so now that I was hot, I wanted to wield my newfound allure. Born. Eh. Strangely enough, though, after I became an entertainer, my daytime wardrobe became way more conservative, and I didn't take as many top-down selfies as I used to. Huh. I mean, weird how that turned out. So basically, I wanted to put on a good show, get paid to work out, and just have fun. What I found at the time, it was a safe environment. It was somewhere I felt okay doing it, and that was very important. I had what could be considered a flaw as a dancer. I genuinely cared about people. In my eyes, if I was going to be making easy money, I wasn't going to lie, I wasn't going to hustle, and I wasn't going to treat these people like walking dollar signs. These were human beings with emotions and needs, and so I was going to do my best to listen and help whenever possible. As a result, however, I rarely banked more than $150 a night post-tip out. This system unfortunately penalizes my kind of method, so while personally I would rather cherish a conversation and make some money doing it than deal with like a loaded idiot, the verdict for many of the other women in the profession is different. They'd rather put up with bullshit if it meant they were going to get some compensation for it in the end. Ladies and gentlemen, this is their job. Unfortunately, the more you talk to an entertainer, or the more you talk to a man, the more the entertainer talks to the man, the more likely that man is to want to save you, wine and dine you, or meet you outside of this place. The more they begin to harbor ideas of building a relationship with the dancer instead of respecting that at the end of the day, she needs to make her money. That's why she's here. Ultimately, this has conditioned many dancers to avoid the broke but well meaning and put up with the disrespectful tippers. So, to the good men out there who value conversations and times shared with these women, if you really want to help and make an impact in their lives, please tip them well. If they're spending time giving you conversation, if they are sharing their time with you, which could be spent, schmoozing up to an asshole, tip them for their time. Because unfortunately, your well meaning efforts of humanizing an otherwise degraded group is actually inflicting harm. Pep talks are nice, but there's few things worse than being a good woman and walking away with nothing. Meanwhile, the Craigslist hooker over here with snaggletooth is being rewarded with $1,000 at the end of the night. You understand? Like, it tempts girls into foul play and this discourages the ones who are trying really hard to follow the rules and keep your humanity in mind. I hate hearing people who say, well, all this, they're fake, all this kindness is genuinely fake. Yeah, you know what? Some of it really is. But those girls who genuinely care and give a shit about you and are trying to entertain you here are getting swept under the wayside because unfortunately, they're taking the time out for people who don't pay them back for their efforts. And that's a shame. It really is a shame. Bitch, I am the dragon! Wings. I ready my polearm. Then I roll for initiative, prepared to slay the beast! Unless he's cool. Then I'd coax him to be my friend with shiny stuff. Shit totally works. Yes. And this is a large reason of why I wanted to even start this channel. As a DJ, I've gotten zero to no negative feedback on what I do. In fact, a lot of people are like, hey, high five, yeah, good job, woo, it's so cool. But when I was a dancer, I was hesitant many times to tell people what I did. Stripping for many comes with a ton of negative connotations. So pretty much either you're automatically kind of shunned or on the other spectrum you're over glamorized. As a result, the way people treat a dancer varies anywhere from harsh contempt to an almost zoo animal like awe. So now I intend to get deeper into this in another video, but for now let me just say that there are a lot of stigmas associated with the lifestyle. I've had trouble finding jobs, especially when it comes to wanting to work with children again, like I used to. I've had angry texts from livid girlfriends of buddies I've had from way back, even before I began dancing. My intelligence is questioned, my morality is questioned, my relationships are questioned. Like, people assume a lot, and many of these assumptions are simply not correct. So hopefully these videos can shine some light into another side of the lifestyle and maybe dispel some of the myths. Well, that's all the time I have for now. I went a little long on this one, I think. I don't know, I haven't edited it yet. I'm sorry for that, guys. But hopefully in the future it'll be a little bit more zoned down, a little bit more, topic friendly, edited, whatever. Hopefully you've enjoyed yourselves and learned a bit of something along the way. Keep an eye out for episodes in the future. If there's any entertainers out there who have stumbled upon this, feel free to comment below with any of your answers to these questions or comments, anything like that. Your input is great and appreciated. I realize that my experiences may not necessarily reflect those of everybody in the spectrum, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. Anyway, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment, woo, all that stuff. Yeah. In the meantime, guys, this has been DJ Salem. Until next time, doodles.